Welcome to this explainer. Ever wonder how that random thing you bought online just magically appears on your porch the very next day, packaged flawlessly and perfectly on time? Well, spoiler alert, it isn't magic. It's a highly engineered, incredibly intricate ecosystem of technology and processes. Today, we're going to peel back the curtain and look at the actual anatomy of a modern business. We're diving into how digital tools are completely changing the way businesses operate, unpacking those invisible technologies from foundational IT software all the way up to advanced artificial intelligence that make sure everything runs exactly as it should.
So here's our game plan for today. We'll be hitting 5 key areas. 1. IT and business operations. 2. Automating the workflow. 3. AI for smarter operations. 4. Robots in the workplace. And 5. Welcome to Industry 4.0. Let's get right to it.
Starting things off with Section 1, IT and Business Operations. Before we get into the heavy tech, let's just ground ourselves for a second. Operations management is basically the engine of any business. It's this ultimate juggling act of turning raw inputs into flawless outputs at the exact right time, the right quantity, and the right cost. Honestly, it's the make or break process that dictates whether a business absolutely thrives or just stalls out completely in a competitive market.
Now, how do IT tools actually help manage these operations? We aren't just talking about having computers on desks here. We're talking about core digital upgrades that fundamentally improve how a business functions by eliminating all that manual guesswork. By automating manual work, like your basic scheduling, businesses avoid massive, cascading delays. By throwing barcode scanners and sensors onto the production line, you completely wipe out those costly human errors from manual data entry. And honestly, the biggest win? IT gives managers real-time data. Instead of just kind of guessing how much to produce, they're looking at live digital dashboards and spotting bottlenecks before they turn into a full-blown crisis.
And to orchestrate this whole shebang, the right software really steps in as the master conductor. This is how IT tools drastically improve planning and supply chains. Enter Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERPs, and supply chain management systems. These guys pull all those isolated business silos together. So instead of the sales team, the factory workers, and the shipping department just doing their own thing in a vacuum, these systems link them up perfectly. If sales lands a massive order, the ERP instantly tells the factory, hey, start producing, while the SCN coordinates with suppliers to get more raw materials delivered. It creates this absolutely seamless flow of information that prevents delays and saves a ton of time and money.
Moving right along to Section 2, Automating the Workflow. So what exactly is automation anyway, and how does it actually work in daily operations? Basically, it's adding physical muscle to the workflow, but crucially, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing, it's a spectrum. On one end, you've got fixed automation. Think a massive car assembly line. High upfront cost, super low flexibility, but for high volume, unchanging tasks, unbeatable efficiency. Then, sitting in the middle is programmable automation, like CNC machines that you can reprogram for different batches. And finally, flexible automation. These are those really smart, computerized systems that can adapt to different products with almost zero downtime, letting a factory pivot on a dime.
And the reason putting this kind of physical automation into a workflow matters so profoundly to the bottom line, it comes down to this right here, 24/7. Unlike us humans, these automated systems offer relentless, nonstop productivity. No fatigue, no coffee breaks, just incredibly consistent quality around the clock. That 24/7 capability is exactly how businesses scale up to meet crazy global demands while actually dropping their long-term costs.
But that brings up a really fascinating question. Sure, automation is absolutely fantastic for repetitive physical stuff. But what happens when the environment changes? What happens when a system actually needs to make a complex decision rather than just endlessly repeating a single motion? Machines can crank away 24/7 for sure, but can they actually learn?
Which leads us perfectly into Section 3, AI for smarter operations.
This is where we give the operation a true brain. Artificial intelligence, specifically machine learning, is how we make operations remarkably smarter and faster. It lets computers discover patterns in massive datasets without needing step-by-step programming. Imagine a system chewing through past sales, customer habits, and real-time weather reports, and it learns, totally on its own, that umbrella sales spike when it rains. Armed with that insight, the AI automatically adjusts inventory orders ahead of time. It's literally learning from its environment to predict what customers will want, preventing both empty shelves and overstocked warehouses.
And AI is saving millions out on the factory floor too, by spotting invisible problems through something called predictive maintenance. In the old days, a machine breaks, production grinds to a halt, and it costs a fortune. Now, first, sensors are constantly collecting real-time data. temperature, vibration, noise. Second, the AI algorithms analyze that data against historical patterns because it knows what a healthy machine feels like. Finally, if it catches even a tiny anomaly, it alerts the managers. They fix it during off hours, stopping a catastrophic breakdown before it's even a thing.
Okay, let's pivot to Section 4, robots in the workplace. Now that our operation has a brain, what about the hands doing the literal heavy lifting in factories and warehouses? We're in the middle of a massive shift here. For decades, it was all about traditional industrial robots. Huge, incredibly fast, crazy powerful machines used for heavy stuff like welding. But because they're so fast and heavy, they're super dangerous. They literally have to be locked in cages. Today, though, we're seeing the rise of collaborative robots, or cobots. Totally different vibe. They are flexible, intuitive, and safe. They're designed to work right alongside you on the line, maybe holding a heavy part while you do the delicate assembly. We are moving from dangerous isolation straight into true human-machine collaboration. Let's zoom out for our final section. Part 5, Welcome to Industry 4.0. So what does Industry 4.0 actually mean? Basically, it is the complete digital transformation of manufacturing and operations. It's the culmination of everything we've talked about today. The key technologies here, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, advanced robotics, big data, they aren't just isolated tools anymore. They are all woven together to create what we call smart factories. These are environments where the physical and digital worlds seamlessly merge, making everything infinitely more efficient, intensely data-driven, and able to adapt to the market in real time. At the absolute heart of this revolution are cyber-physical systems. This is literally where the magic happens. Picture a physical robotic arm on a factory floor in one country, constantly streaming data about its wear and tear up to a virtual cloud network. An AI in the cloud processes that data, optimizes the robot's movements, and instantly beams the improved instructions back down. Not just to that machine, but to every similar machine worldwide. Every robot, sensor, and software program is just constantly talking, learning, and improving in one massive unified loop. All right, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with kind of a provocative thought. We've seen how IT organizes the business, how automation brings the muscle, and how AI and robotics provide the brains and the hands for these incredible smart factories. But as these machines get smarter, as predictive maintenance fixes tools before they even break, and as systems learn to adapt totally on their own, where do you fit in? What's the human role going to be in a world where operations practically run themselves? It is a thrilling but definitely challenging frontier, and I hope this deep dive has given you a clearer lens on the future of work. Thanks for learning with me today.